out. How's everybody doing today? Drop in the chat. Awesome. Tyrell, good to see you. Awesome. I'm gonna also get the companion rolling. Alrighty.
Okay, am I less blurry now? I
Yeah,
hope
you
I'm.
are. Yeah.
Yay! Okay, hopefully I have better service now.
Awesome. So, Derrick, let's just get going. I want to just jump right in. Tell me about yourself. Uh, for those of who are on the call who don't know you yet.
Yeah, so my name's Derrick Platt. I've been in the business for. Am I still good? Am I not choppy or
You're
anything?
actually perfect.
Okay,
Mm-mm.
perfect. Yeah, I've been in the business since 2020. During COVID, I went home from college and my parents were doing real estate and killing it. And I was like, wow, this is super easy. It just looks so awesome. And I'm like, let me get my license. So, got my license when I was home from college and kind of went to college and was just expecting these leads to pop into into your hands and people just start calling you up. But as we all know, that doesn't happen. So it was a little bit of a shocker. So I, kind of realized that I needed to do something. And a big thing that I kind of saw from my parents was that they were very focused on their sphere and they were involved in, they had four boys who were all involved in football, baseball, soccer, track. So
Oh.
they had our connections and then they also had our parents connection or like their parents connection. So they knew a lot of people in the community. So I'm like, that's what I need to do. I need to be ultra connected within the community. So that's kind of what I focused on, and that's kind of what sparked my interest in knowing that I needed to like build something bigger through, social media and the local community. So yeah.
That's awesome. I love that you said that connection with community matters so much, which is true. I think a lot of us see that. And specifically about social media, how does that work well with your business? How do you use that to your advantage?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a magic lead machine, as we all know. It's just a relationship amplifier. So it is a good way to keep you connected with your sphere and the people that you're already making connections with, that you're already talking to on a daily basis, people you see at the bar, people you see, wherever you might go, dinner with family in the local town, or city for a lot of you guys. But just making those connections and then keeping them through social media. So for me, it's really just a reminder for me to stay top of mind with a lot of these people so that I'm not getting forgotten about. And, because I think there's in a 10-year window, someone thinks about real estate for maybe 6 months to a year of those 10 years. So you have to stay relevant all 10 years, and you could choose to cold call and try to stay top of mind and follow up. Hey, Miss Janice, remember me? I'm Derrick from down the street. I'm still in real estate. You still looking to buy and sell? No? Okay. So it's just a good way to stay top of mind without having to continually, pick up the phone, cold call or email or something. It's automated and it's just, yeah, just posting about your life. So yeah.
Per- Personally, I'm writing down notes. I don't know if you guys are, but I wrote making connections, staying top of mind. That's important, but also it's being seen as social media as a supplement to those lead generation actions. If I'm getting that correctly.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. Yep. It's not everything. It shouldn't be your whole business, but we should all have pillars on how we generate leads in the business. And one of those pillars should be social media. And then if you still want to do cold calling, if you still want to do your flyers, your what's it called? Circle prospecting, all that stuff is
Mm,
just different pillars of the business. So it's good to have, at least three plus different pillars.
awesome. So when did you notice that social media could turn conversations or opportunities to business for you?
Yeah. When I just started getting people randomly messaging me like, "Hey, I'm thinking about, this area. What do you think about this house? What do you like it wasn't when I was posting who wants to buy and sell, because I did post a couple times, if anyone's looking to buy or sell in the next 5 years, I would love to, help you guys out. That's not when people actually reached out. When people reached out, it was on my just on my story. I love posting pictures of what I'm doing. So if I'm at an inspection and I see something cool, the inspector points out something interesting, I'm taking a picture of that. I'm posting it with like a little story because people want to hear about what's going on in your life. A cheap home on acreage, a unique feature about a house, something that you personally thought was interesting, because there's not one size fits all for this, because what my people, my audience that follows me, what they are interested in is completely different than what a lot of your guys' audience might be interested in. So my demographic is probably more between the ages of 24 to 35. So a lot of them are going to be interested in the cheaper homes, the first time home buyers, cheaper manufactured home on acreage, a house hack, a duplex, something more investor friendly, cheaper price point, versus many of you might have social medias where most of the people you follow have already purchased one or two houses, and they're looking for their forever home. They're looking for a one-story rambler. So you just have to make sure that you're posting things that you enjoy about, because most of the time what you enjoy is going to be what your audience enjoys. So you have to make sure that
Oh, good.
you're taking what's going on in your life personally. And that's another point that I like to make, is that it shouldn't all be business. It should be, I think some people say like 30% business, 70% your life and family and what's going on outside of it, because you're not a robot. You're not a real estate only person. You probably have a lot of things going on in your life. You probably got kids, and you've got hobbies. You've got sports. You've got so many things that you're doing. So just making sure to take a quick selfie when you're at a friend's basketball game. Um, Take pictures of your daughter, post those. I mean, there's so many ways in your everyday life that you should be posting things, because people don't follow you. Most people don't follow you because of your real estate. Let's be real. Like, they're following you because they want to stay in touch with you. They want to stay in touch with your family. So as much as you can, obviously do the cool real estate posts, something interesting. Don't make the boring Happy Valentine's Day flyer. Like they're gonna scroll right past that. All the ones I've seen have had 2 likes that say Happy Valentine's Day, the real estate group. It's like they don't really care about that. They want to see a picture of you and your family. And if you post at the bottom of your caption it says Happy Valentine's Day, they're gonna eat that up. They're gonna love that. So it posts stuff
Yeah.
that's personal to you guys, that really actually matters to you guys. Yeah.
So for the people who have hopped on midway through Derrick speaking, please drop your email in the chat so we can follow up with his contact information, summary of today's call, because he's dropping so many gems right now. So many gems. You're speaking to the choir, Derrick. So reaching out to people, posting and forgetting, just post and forget. Just if you see something interesting, talk about it. Make a story about it. Audience matters, and that's what I think too is super important, but also the management part. How are you managing these conversations? Is it through the DMs? Are you taking it off platform? Are you asking for their email? How does that turn into the next step?
Yeah. Um, so I kind of touched on it a little bit. It's not the posts that are Happy Valentine's Day or just listed, even though just listed and just sold, those are very important posts, but they're not usually going to be your conversation sparking post. It's going to be the, more personal ones.
Starters.
Um, but it's going to be things like, here's what my buyer's dealing with currently. We did an inspection. X happened, we negotiated Y, and now we are waiting for the appraisal, and we're going to close. Or here's what I like to do too, is just do random, or not random. Like if you go through the bottom of Home Spotter, I don't know if any of you use Home Spotter. It's got the little payment estimator, and I'll work in there. Okay, realistically, for someone my age, what are they going to put down? Maybe 10 to 20K down. I'll put 20K down, and then I'll do 6% interest rate, and then I'll do probably a price range around 400. and then I'll post a cool manufactured home on 5 acres, and I'm like, look, you could pick this up for, 2,500 bucks a month or whatever it might be, something that kind of eye catches them, that they're like, wow, my rental is $2,000, so you're telling me for $500 more um I can have a house. And you just have to
Mm,
help people put themselves in the shoes and start kind of thinking, like, get their wheels turning, like, okay, well, 500 bucks more a month, I get 5 acres, I can ride my quads, maybe I can store my equipment, I can make money off of that. Different people think it triggers different things, but you just want to trigger those internal questions as much as possible. And if you're really trying to double down on your social media, I personally don't do this a whole lot, but I follow a lot of gurus and people that say that you need to be reaching out, I think, to like 10 to 15 people a week and DMing them, especially if you get a follow from them saying, hey, thanks for the follow. What was the reason you followed me? Was it, the post I posted? Were you looking to buy or sell, or were you just looking to follow like me and my family? Or did we meet somewhere? Maybe we met at the bar and I don't remember or something, or maybe, there's a lot of reasons. So if you can just start that conversation and give a reason for people to reach out to you, because, maybe they are looking to buy in the next year or so, which a lot of times if they're following you from a real estate post, that could be the reason. So they're not usually
right.
gonna like, wow, I'm just gonna message this guy. He like, I don't know, when I follow a person, I'm like, oh, they're probably super busy. Their DMs are probably flooded, so I don't even think to message them. So a lot of times people, if you do the cold outreach and just like, hey, and it's going to be awkward, it's going to be weird sometimes, people are going to be like, hey, why is this guy messaging me? But I mean, it's a deal. It's better than getting yelled at on the phone cold calling. So I think 10 to
Right.
15 outreaches, cold outreaches. And then a good way to do it as well is the local businesses, people that follow local businesses, people that follow your local church, people that like and engage with the local church, making sure that they're still active and they're not just old followers that accounts are 15 years old and it's just disappearing. Your message just goes and disappears. You want to make sure that they're active people, they're actively liking things, engaging with the local community. Maybe they're commenting on something locally, and engage with those people, because those are the people you're probably going to see around the community. And then those are also going to be your biggest hype people, the ones that are going to give you referrals and, give you future business down the
Connect
line.
easier.
So yeah,
I
yeah.
do I do want to summarize that because there were so many different broad topics, but all of it kind of worked together so well. And so for those who are on the call who may be a little bit new, I want to break this down a little bit more, as social media is also one of my favorite topics, but you are crushing it, Derek. So scenarios are powerful. Reiterating different ideas so that your audience can see big picture easier, maybe at the level of a fifth grader, like this could be where you're like realistically things like that, like this could be where your quad could be stored, like yeah, we know that, but for people who don't see houses on a regular basis, they may not see that value. And so breaking things down to where they're fun, engaging, and then forcing that connection and forcing communication on DMs could be so simple, but it could replace a lot of the calling and the waiting for people to pick up. So it does save time a little bit there, but there's also a strategy that you use to reach out to other people, which, if you guys didn't catch that, what he was saying was to follow the right people, to reach out to the community that's in our area, but also the people who are associated with the businesses in the neighborhood. And a good way to find real people to engage with and to force that communication of, hey, how are you doing? Thank you for following me. Um, if you have any questions, open-ended question. If you have any questions about real estate, can I answer those for you? Blah, blah, blah. That would be a copy and paste message you would send to tons of people you follow or people who follow you. You surely automate that, but the strategy is to find real people in communities that you're already associated with, to the where they can say, "Oh, Derek, yeah, I think I've seen him somewhere." And that's the beauty of this. It's you could reach so many people. Your billboard is not just here. You can reach everybody on the internet. So I want to move on to the next question. So we did answer a couple of ones. I have this one I want to ask. How do you decide what's worth continuing to do on social media? This would be more of leaning towards like the analytics, maybe. You tell me your take on this, but what's not worth your energy, and what do you use to decide what is your worth your energy?
Yeah. So this one's kind of simple. But a lot of times we might make it a lot harder than it really needs to be, but just in engagement, overall engagement. So obviously the big ones you want to look out for and what Instagram and Facebook promote the most is content that has the most shares because they want to get people that are going to send it from one person to the next. So shares is kind of like your number one. And then obviously likes is a good indicator, but I think views is also really good too because that's what actually the algorithm is pushing. But likes is what your people actually enjoy and they're choosing to engage with. And then obviously comments are great. Always recommend replying to everyone's comment. I know it's probably a lot, or a lot of people are just like, oh, thanks for the comment. Like they don't even think twice, might hit the like button on the comment. But it's important to comment and reply to the people who comment on your post. For one, you're going to encourage them to continue to comment on your future posts. And then for two, you're increasing, Instagram seeing that there's more activity on this post. So they're going to show it to more people, put it at the top of more people's timelines. So those are all really good things. Shares, number one. um, Likes, saves are important as well. That's more of like an Instagram thing, I think. I don't know too much if you can do that on Facebook. But and then comments,
Mm.
obviously making sure that you're following back on um, or commenting, replying to the comments on your posts. Um,
Hmm.
and then yeah,
Yeah,
I think
so
just I'll say one more thing. Just like a monthly
yes.
audit on your profile would be great. So like kind of scrolling down, okay, I did all these posts, which story got the most engagement, which post got the most engagement, and seeing the views on everyone. If you don't have insights turned on Facebook and Instagram, recommend that. That needs to be on in order for you to actually see what's going on in your posts. I think it's somewhere in the settings. There's a way you can turn it on. But insights is very
Yeah.
important. So and then an annual review, monthly and annual look through and say, okay, this year what performed the most? The video that performed the best for me this year was um, I got this idea from a gal in Spokane, and what she does is she posts when a new restaurant or place is opening up. And what I did was the new Wingstop in Yelm, for those of you who are familiar, just opened up,
Mm.
and next to it was also multi-care. So I did a video just of me standing out front. Hey guys, I'm at the Yelm Medical Plaza. Behind me is the new Wingstop that's going to be opening up here in the next couple of months. It's located here, blah blah blah. And then I did some B-roll of Wingstop people eating some wings, and then a little bit of drone footage. The drone footage goes a long way just because it captivates people, and they're like, "Whoa, that's interesting." So drone
Hmm.
not necessary, but it does help a little bit. But that was one of my best posts. So I really want to focus on doing more local content with new restaurants that are coming to town. But it's a very big time commitment, and editing for me takes a lot of time. So I would love to find an editor. I'm looking for one currently, but I haven't done too much research. But it takes so much time editing. So if
Yeah.
be prepared. Social media is, if you're wanting to do the long form videos, it's a lot of work. But if you just do
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be that bad. You can post stories every day and you can post picture posts. It can be super simple. And if you want to go crazy and try to really delve into it, you can do the videos, but pictures and slideshows at the minimum.
Okay, awesome. A lot of best practices here to note take. Saves equate to audience engagement as well as likes and comments, and how to get those people to save, engage, and like and comment consistently is by engaging back to them and commenting on the things that they post, and vice versa. If they comment on your post, reciprocate the love. Also, it also as a touch point, don't you think, Derek? Because if you're contacting them in the DMs, asking them a question, they don't respond, you go back to their page, hit them with a, "Hey, love your dog, she's so cute," blah blah blah. That's also a way of kind of staying in their world, and the algorithm sees that and is like, oh, okay, great, right? Like you said, rewarding you with the amount of engagement that you are doing online and participating with the audience. Therefore, they like that because it's keeping more people on the apps itself. So, and before we move forward too, I did write down one thing, but we should just move forward. If anybody has any questions, drop them in the chat. I want to answer this one question here from Tyrell. Do you have a separate business page and a personal page? What is your experience with that?
I have never created a business page, so I just figured that I just didn't think, me personally, I put myself in the shoes of someone that I'm gonna sell a house to, and I'm like, okay, would I go out of my way to follow someone's business page? And like, it just doesn't seem that fun because all they're gonna be posting is houses and stuff that I don't really care about. But the reason that I chose to make my business page my social page is because people want to follow me for me, and then also in the mix I can throw in a few houses. It doesn't have to be all houses, it doesn't have to be all social. I kind of did like a little, 70, 30, 30% uh, business,
Yeah.
70% social, so that it's still engaging, that people still want to follow me for me. So yeah, I chose to do mixing both. I think that's the better way to go, but maybe some other people have had success with just the business page.
There's an element of saving time there that I just want to point out. If you're going to be managing two pages, do it right. Put in all effort into those pages. If you want to have a personal to communicate with people personally, great, but you want to add people on your business page when you're going to networking events, when you're going to the open house and they say, "Hey, can I see this?" They see that, make sure that they follow you back on that business page. Make that the most active one. And also on the sake of time, it's so much easier to post your personal life without all the editing and fluff, and people still love it just as much in my opinion. Don't you think?
Yep.
Instead of all the fancy editing, and that does amp your page up with the drone shots and
Yeah.
everything.
And one thing I'll say too on that, just with business page and personal page, is I already kind of like, I don't feel awkward when I share my social media because it's following there. I want them to follow me as a person, and it just so happens that I sell real estate. So I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I just met this person. Like, follow my Instagram page. It's my real estate business page, and they're like, well, this
Right.
guy's automatically trying to sell me. Like, I don't want it to be transactional relationship. I want them to think that and know that I actually care about them as a person, and I want to invest in this relationship, and I'm not just like, hey, here's my Instagram, my social, my real estate one. So that's something to consider as well.
Uh, that. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's awesome. Any habits or tools or mindset shifts that help make social media feel easier for you or more manageable?
Yeah, I mean, social media is just always a constant struggle because it's like you can do all this content, you create all this content, and then all of a sudden you get busy with work, and it's like I haven't posted a post in a while, I have a story in a while, so it's like a constant. It's always going to be there. You always have to continue to be um, consistent with it. And I would say, one, don't beat yourself up over it too much. Like, you try to be consistent as you can, but don't, like, at the end of the day be like, oh, I should have posted this, I should have posted this. But let that be a motivator. So things that have
Yeah.
I've found that have made it easier for me is posting stories consistently. They're super low pressure, they're only there for 24 hours. I found that a lot of those in a 24-hour period get more engagement than actual post will in 24 hours. A lot, I don't know what it is about the algorithm, but people click on stories more or something. I don't know what it is, but so stories, they're super simple. If you're at an open house, at dinner with your kids, and then make sure that there's people's faces in the story. So whether it's your face, whether it's your family, whether it's um a listing appointment, something, make sure that you're taking a selfie or it's with you with your kids. People want to engage with, and they like people, so they want to see faces. And then I think there's faces and something else I can't think of it. But anyways, try to post faces if you can on stories. And then be relatable. So you don't have to make this grand real estate post. It can be things that are super simple. Your family, a struggle that you're going going through. If you want to be more personal, that's struggles are really good because they're easier to relate to for a lot of people. And people can, come alongside you. There's a lot of reasons why sharing your struggles is good on social media, to
Mm.
create that more intimate relationship with your followers. Um, if you're at local events, posting those. Hobbies, if you're, rock climbing or you're into camping or whatever it might be, stories are great for those in the moment. And then once you come home from your camping trip or whatever, then you can post, your actual post with a carousel, which is just like 10 pictures in a row where you scroll through. Um, so make sure it's
Yes.
relatable with those. And then I guess, okay. And then here's a third kind of way that I've been able to make um, social media actionable consistently is after a networking event. I don't know. Uh, Networking events are a big part of my business. So what I do is when I go home, I know I have a lot of business cards, and 90% of the time people do nothing with business cards. They just throw them on their desk, and I don't know. I don't think I've ever gotten a call or text from a business card. Like it seems like they just disappear into the abyss. So you have to be intentional about those. So what I do is I get the big, I'm coming home, I got 3 or 4 business cards, I'm putting them on my desk, and a lot of times I'll wait until I have like 20, and then I'll go through, okay, John Doe, look him up on Facebook, found him on Facebook, friend. Look him up Instagram, found him on Instagram, friend. Next, business card. Okay, this guy, this guy.
Oh,
A lot of
oh, good.
times it's tough because you can't find the right profile or whatever. It's worth it. One, and then
Mm-hmm.
two, I'll also look at maybe they have a LinkedIn. If you want to go deeper dive, you can go LinkedIn, you can go TikTok, you can go, if you want to get crazy, go that route. Or also look for their business page. Um, Looking for that also to would be good. And then engaging with their content when you see it pop up on your timeline. So um, John Doe that you met at the networking event posts, comment on it and say, wow, your kids are so cute. I would, we should get together for coffee or whatever it might be, or just comment and just say, hey, kids are beautiful. Something like that. So just um, keep those little touches going. Likes, I don't
Mm.
even look through my likes. So if you like someone's post, I like to think of it as I'm engaging with that person, but it's really not. It's really engaging when you comment or you DM it to the person and say, "Wow, this is really cool. I, appreciate how you're doing this with your hobby or whatever." So, yeah.
Awesome. You've defined something that's super important, the law of familiarity, staying in front of people and just being consistent. And the algorithm does help with putting you in front of people, especially if you're engaging with that certain account. And so for those of you who are wondering what stories, is that word story could define stories as what we share, but it also is a very important part of the type of content that we share online. It would be right here in the profile, and you would click that button. I had to show somebody yesterday too, and it was actually pretty awesome to go back through the settings. And you'd create a 24-hour post that will live on the top. And if you can see, and you might notice some people pop up here, and the top 4 people and going forward are the people who you engage with the most. And so that's why it kind of builds more of that connection just from those little interactions that compound over time. So the best thing to do, as you had said earlier, is to find what sticks, to find things that work for you that you can do easy, and to not hurt yourself over just not posting tomorrow and the next day, but to just think of it as a compounding effort. And then that those efforts of looking at the analytics weekly, you said, and monthly will help build that repetition and show you what is working. So, other question, this might be the last one that I have, and we'll open up the floor for everybody. But I'm watching the chat. If you guys want to drop your questions in the chat, I'll ask them if it makes sense for the moment. But we will open the floor up for Q&A. For the agents who want to use social media to grow their database but feel unsure of where to start, what's one piece of advice that you would give to them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you likely already have your next post in your camera roll right now. It's probably something, whether it's you going to the you and your wife or husband going to a Valentine's Day dinner. Maybe you took a selfie there and you just sent it to the kids group chat. And I'm sure your whole audience would love to see that on social media. Maybe you went to the tree
Mm.
farm, open house, gas station showing. Maybe you're in the gym this year. Sharing your goals is a really great way to get engagement. They're relatable, and then people can also hold you accountable. A bit scary, but worth it. Um, so yeah, post everything. Like if you can take a selfie with the guy at the gas station, great. If you can take a selfie with your client, great. If you can tell a story somehow, if you can post a picture and say, look, we've got a well inspection today. This is what we found out. There's about $20,000 worth of work that needs to be done. This is what my clients have decided to do. Maybe you're negotiating, maybe you're took it as is and you're just doing it there, but just sharing stories so that people can relate. And then also giving them like a little a magnifying glass into the business for a little bit. And then remember that social media is a slow drip. So it replaces the it can replace the hey, remember me phone call, it's just slow drip. Each time they see your post, it's oh yeah, Derrick. Oh, yep, still doing real estate. Oh, he's with his family. Oh,
Mhm.
and just staying top of mind because that's when they do think about house, the first person that's going to come to mind is you, because you're not just posting about houses, you're posting about your family, you're posting about everything, engaging with people. Um, so
Very
yes,
cool.
they will all already remember you when it's time to think about real estate. And then the last thing would just be engage, don't just post. So comment on people's, especially for their big life events. Maybe they just had a baby, or maybe they just got married, they got engaged to. Especially big life events, try to comment and even send a DM like, "Oh my goodness, congrats! Where are you guys doing your wedding?" Ask follow up questions and just be interested in people's life, because at the end of the day, social media is just an easier way to connect with people, and it's a lot less awkward than a random phone call. So be human. Try to DM naturally. uh, Obviously you can, if you want, you can do DMs, are you looking to transact, but most of the time it's going to be something like thanks for the follow, and actually engaging with them, building that relationship. And they know that we do real estate, they're going to reach out when it's time. The lucky part for us is, it's not, to me, it's not a sales position, not a sales job, it's a relationship business. So I get to connect with people, I get to make relationships, and social media is just another way to continue that relationship when I'm not in front of them in person, and just a lot easier to do that. So a lot of people also think that social media is about going viral. It's not about getting a ton of views. It's not about getting a ton of engagement. At the end of the day, it's just staying top of mind and continuing to help build those relationships with the people that you care about. So, yeah.
Love that. That was awesome. Thank you so much for that. That literally was the best messaging. That summarizes everything you said. Just stay consistent, stay top of mind, connect with people genuinely, reach out to people. I love it. If anybody wants to jump in, feel free to come off of mute. Want this to be as interactive as possible, you guys. Floor is yours. Let's do some questions. I am gonna remove my spotlight.
And a lot of these things are things that I haven't even mastered yet. Like, especially the DMs, the personal DMs. I need to get better at DMing people. It just feels awkward to me, but it's very important, and it just sparks the conversation. That's all it is just getting a natural way to conversate and build a relationship with someone. So the random DMs
Yes.
are great. And obviously being consistent with social media is hard, but it doesn't have to be done every day, every month. It can be every couple months if that's your strategy, but really just trying to stay top of mind with your clients.
I
I
have a
think to back that
question.
up, yes.
So,
Sorry. Go ahead.
sorry. No, go ahead. My apologies.
No, no, you're good. Please do it. Please ask your
So
question.
my question is, as someone who is um social media avoidant, as I just don't care for people in my everyday life, how do you kind of navigate that space? Because me and my wife are both like, okay, we post birthday, maybe anniversary, and maybe a New Year post all year long. And then now listening to your suggestion is like completely disrupting that model and posting almost on a regular basis. So how do you navigate that shift? Were you always in a social media poster?
Yeah, let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you not like do you use social media to like keep up with other people, or or are you like, do you scroll at all? What's your relationship with social media currently?
I'm a scroller.
Okay.
I will scroll and like a post, but I very seldomly do more than that.
And I guess it is, you have to choose if social media is one of your main pillars. For me, I chose it too because I'd rather do that than cold call. So you have to ask yourself, okay, would I rather post a picture, once a week, or would I rather pick up the phone and call, a certain amount of people? You get a reach. When I post and I get maybe 1,000 people that see my post, and I would have to pick up the phone and be calling, 20, like 50 people a day if I wanted to get that same reach. So you just have to ask yourself, is this a lead model that I could see myself following? For me, I was always kind of into social media. I've had like a YouTube channel when I was little. I just kind of enjoy content creating. I've always struggled and honestly hated editing, so that's been something that's a little friction point for me. But that's the nice thing about stories is you can just take a picture and post it, and no filters needed, no editing, no camera movement. Like, it's literally just raw footage of your life. So I guess, yeah, the best advice would just be, is this like, it is a lifestyle, is this a pillar that I want in my real estate business? If it's not, great, pick up the phone and cold call, or do your circle prospecting, or whatever you choose to do. But yeah, this is one of the possible pillars that you can choose.
Okay, and then my follow-up question, because I'm not a native from Washington. So part of my need for social media is to bolster my sphere of influence and those who I have community with, which my community is like gradually growing over the last few years. So one, my question is, are you a native? And two, if you aren't a native, was this how you bolstered your sphere of influence?
Yeah, I guess that is one really nice thing about my life that I've been fortunate enough to have, is that I've pretty much been born and raised in Yelm. I was born technically in Tennessee, but since 2006 up until now, I've been living in like the same community. So a lot of those people I've already had following me in this community for a long time. But a good way to engage with the local community is, one, like I said, follow and DM local people. So I guess that's a good way that you can still be authentic, still be real, and not have to post every day, is if you're doing good at client outreach. If you're DMing people, if you're commenting and engaging with people, if you're already scrolling, what's leaving a comment on, a couple posts and spending a couple extra seconds there. Um, and then
I want to jump in that too after
and
you're
then I'm just
done.
gonna say one more thing. Just posting local, like sandwich shops, local businesses, if you're going in there to shop, if it's a cool or unique shop, and just if you're eating at a restaurant, take a selfie, maybe even take a selfie with the manager and post them. But it's all about trying to be local, because if you have local followers, that's what they care about. They want to see other local people, yeah, and things like that.
Great, thank you.
Thanks, Ariel, for your question. I want to jump in on that too, because I do hear your point about having not being from Seattle. I'm also not from Seattle, but I moved here 10 years ago. I have clients too, which I will connect with you, Derrick, because we do run social media pages for our clients, and we do the video editing and all that stuff because it does
Uh,
get hard. And my thing is just to give people back their time. And so that's kind of why I do what I do and I love to do it. But I have a client who is from Illinois who just moved a few years back but has no community here. She lives in Magnolia. Her story is she moved here with her husband. He works in tech. And so we're capitalizing on her story of how she fell in love with Magnolia and how she became a part of this community and how we're doing the outreach to new people is I'm like, okay, where do you like to hang out at which coffee shop, what bookstore, the Chamber of Commerce. They have a lot of businesses that they work with. So go there, find people who are commenting, liking, posting, who they're sharing about, connect with those people, make genuine relationships, and to follow up on that, she already has a lead, from somebody who saw that she's posting a lot about, and it actually came from a post that we created of her, just a photo of her, and then just these arrows pointing into all these directions saying, I'm a mom, I'm a sister, and it was a trend that we used, but that was
Nice.
personal and it made sense. And somebody went in the captions and we looked her up. She's a real person. Her son goes to watch. Like we've already seen so much because people are vulnerable. So it does take a little bit of vulnerability to win people's hearts online.
Yeah.
And also that relationship with social. What's your relationship with social media? That was $1 million question there. I like that.
I know. I wish Instagram and Facebook had more settings so that you can restrict your use. Like, I wish there was a way that
Mhm.
I could lock short form content between the hours of 9 and 5, but I still want to use it because if I block the whole app, I won't use it, I won't post. But I just want to block maybe even my feed and short form content from the hours of 9 to 5 so that I'm not scrolling. I don't get lost when I see something. I'm like, oh, this is cool. And then next thing you know, I'm scrolling. I want to be in the DMs and I want to be looking at my page, my profile, and what I need to post next. So I wish that Instagram allowed a little more freedom with that. But yeah, that's one personal thing that I think other people can probably relate to.
More balance in life. Yeah. There's a question about TikTok. If you have to say, maybe describe all of the platforms and their significance to you and your business, um, how would you do that?
Yeah, number one is Facebook. I was never a Facebook user. My most of my generation is in Instagram and Snapchat actually, but I feel like a lot of my friends don't really use Snapchat anymore. Maybe to Snapchat a couple people, but they have us locked down because they have all the memories from the last like 10 years that we took little videos of and saved, and now they have kept us from deleting it. Um, but
Crazy.
Facebook has been my number one. Just I didn't think of it, but there's the demographics on there are older. It's a lot of um, I don't know what it is. Like it seems like just more mature audience maybe. And that's where I'm getting a lot more engagement of I make a post and then people will just DM me and say, we love this house. Can we have a tour or something like that? I found a lot more engagement with Facebook. I enjoy Instagram more. I love all the pictures. I like the stories. I love that it's just like I don't know, I love the UI of it. I love the layout, the interface better of Instagram, but Facebook has been the clear winner in terms of leads. I'm not much of a TikTok guy. I try to post the same content that I post on Instagram to TikTok as well when it's like short form video and stuff. But I know some people have success with it. To me, I feel like I just get too many random people. A lot of it's high school audience is what I'm getting from TikTok, which those people aren't going to buy a house for a long time. But it's good to have. Like those people eventually will be buying houses. But right now, and then it's younger audience, and then it's more sporadic. Like I feel like there's a lot of people throughout the U.S. like people in Florida, South Carolina, and I'm like, well,
Mhm.
that doesn't do me any good making those connections. Maybe a referral fee, but like I don't know, like it could work for that. But personally, I haven't found too much in TikTok, but I know a lot of people have. So yeah,
Very cool. Very cool. I'm gonna check in the chat to see if there's any other questions. Thank you so much for your time, Derek. This was amazing.
yeah,
I wish
this
we
was
could have
super
met in
fun.
person too. This is awesome. You're great. And thank you for your time and sharing all these informations. Really awesome to see that you found success, that everything you're doing is working for you, that you found that secret sauce. You're awesome. Keep crushing it. And if it's okay for you, could we share maybe your email if people have any follow-up questions or want them to be able to communicate directly to you?
Yeah, definitely. I'll drop my email right now.
Perfect.
And then if you get one piece of advice from this, I think it's that's a big takeaway. If you can get one little nugget that you're taking away from this, maybe it's just being consistent, maybe it's DMing, maybe it's being more active and commenting more. Um, I think
Mhm.
those are all really good things. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, we will be putting this recording on the hub. I will be sending a summary of this Zoom today. Sorry, I'm kind of a little lost for words. I took many notes. I'm always I'm always a fan of learning of all the things about social media, but I'm glad a lot of these things resonated and you're doing great. Hope to keep in touch and hear more about your successes and your journey. And good luck with everything that you're doing. And I know you're working on an inspection today, so you got to run. So I'll give you guys back the rest of the time if no one else has any questions. Going once, going twice. All righty. See you guys next week.
All right. Thanks for joining,
Thank
guys.
you. Thank you for joining. Bye.